I really love using pre-recorded content for conferences and online events, but some people absolutely hate pre-records. I think that the people who say that they hate them are missing the point, because what they're doing is focusing on all the things that they miss and that I miss too about face-to-face events. Instead, we're distracted from the main point, which is how to make the online learning that we're delivering better. I totally get it. We love an audience. There really is nothing quite like that feeling of standing on a stage, looking out at the audience and seeing them smiling back at you. Or maybe even you can see them welling up when you're telling a great story. And if you get a standing ovation at the end and a round of applause, it's such an amazing feeling. We just don't have that in online learning. There is no round of applause at the end, unless you use a really bad sound effect. So it's just not the same. But if you're just giving a presentation online, so for example, you are just talking at the audience and showing them slides or whatever, there is literally no benefit to the audience of watching you do that talk live than doing it pre-recorded. And if you can think of an advantage to the audience of doing that, then please tell me in the comments. There's so many great things about pre-records though. You can get your presentation really tight. It will run really smoothly on the day. You don't need to worry about connecting your audio or not being able to share your screen or your slides. It's going to run smoothly because someone just needs to press play. You could also have it edited in advance so it's looking better. You could go to a recording studio or get a videographer and it's all going to look much slicker. You're going to be delivering a much better quality of presentation to your learners. Also, they could watch it asynchronously. So you could share the pre-records for learners to watch in their own time and then just do the bits live and synchronously on the day that have added value for them. But there are some downsides. It's definitely more effort for the presenter and for the organizer, because as the presenter, you end up spending a lot more time preparing the talk. And certainly at the beginning, you can spend ages trying to pre-record. So when I did my first pre-records, I would end up just thinking I made a mistake and have to start again, and you just end up going over and over, and before you know it, you're getting towards the end of the day and you've still not recorded it. That does get easier with time. It's also more effort for the organisers of events because they need to get your stuff recorded in advance and they're going to need to edit it in advance. But my favourite thing about pre-records is that it allows me as a speaker to be more present for the live and interactive parts of the day. You feel distracted, you're stressed. After a presentation, I'm always reflecting on how it went, how well I did, and what bits didn't go as well as planned. But when it's pre-recorded, you don't need to worry about all of that. So instead, you can focus on being more present. You can be on the chat, you can actually be on the text chat during your pre-recorded presentation to answer questions that the learners have. You can be there for any Q&As on the day and actually be more involved because you're less distracted. So overall, what happens is you get to put more into the actual parts that make it worthwhile of being there live rather than parts that you could have pre-recorded in advance. So don't be the person who just blanket says pre-records are awful. That's just a statement that's too broad to make sense. Think about what benefits that pre-records have compared to live didactic online learning, and instead let's put our efforts on the day of the event into adding value to those who turn up live.